Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X. My name is Daniel, and today with me, as always,
Hey guys, it's Amara.
it's been a minute.
It's been a long minute.
It's been a hot minute, man. A hot minute.
It's been a long minute, man.
What's going on, man? How are you doing?
Dude, it's been crazy.
Can you imagine?
It's been crazy. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I am in the middle of the year, and I'm just thinking, I am happy. I'm juggling a lot of emotions right now, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
And part of that is because I've been thinking, I've had the opportunity, like I was telling you off the podcast some days ago, that I had the opportunity and the privilege of listening to some of our more recent episodes.
Yeah.
And that was allowing me to see the places where I was not living up to my own standards.
Guys, if we got $1 for every time we went back to listen to an episode and found out that we ourselves were caught lacking. Bro, it's different, man. You're like, who is that smart person? Like, what are these brilliant things they're saying that I'm not doing, right?
Bro.
So I totally hear that. So, but any specifics you can get into about that?
Man, okay. So let me give it a quick example. I mentioned on the podcast a number of times that I conduct like weekly reviews of my overall growth and progress.
Yeah.
So all my goals are outlined in a way that allows me to check out what my week-on-week progress looks like. Yeah. And for about I reviewed, so I can tell.
Amara actually reviews, guys.
So for a number of weeks, was I think about 4 or 5 weeks. I fumbled in so many things. I was like, what was the cause? I had to sit down and just be like, Amara, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where are the lapses? And at the same time, I was still able to recognize the growth, the extraordinary growth I was making in some other areas.
That's interesting.
And so it was for me like, I don't want to pat myself on the shoulder because I know that I was doing way better than I currently am. Was at least not. That I could have been doing way better than I was at the time. And so it was like, I'm just now in my feelings like, bro, you're doing well, but like now you need to fix up. And this helped me to understand. We say a lot of things.
We do.
And by,
it's a 30-minute podcast.
Bro, in 30-minute podcast, we say a lot of things.
We say a lot of things.
But doing that helped me to see part of the reason why it's very easy for people to go through a 12-month year, start off really high energy, high momentum, and you now understand why the statistics say a lot of people drop off within the first 1, 2, 3 months on their New Year resolutions, and by the 6 months, it's barely a fraction of people that are still keeping up with those New Year resolutions. And those numbers might not make sense to you, but if you were in my shoes at the time when I was reviewing, you could. If I had to catch myself and catch the slap, like, nah,
a brother was caught lucky.
but thankfully, I've been able to resolve within myself and see how to get back on schedule with a lot of things. Daniel understands how much I have been dragging things with the Zero to X team.
Oh my god.
I have been
Let me just put it out there. When Zero to X blows, it's Amara's fault. When we blow, it's Amara's fault.
Oh god.
I just put it out there.
But guys, I say this because there is a very huge tendency to start and not finish. I 100%, see it now. Yeah. It's why someone like Alex Hormozy says you must become the kind of person who enjoys playing the game. Yeah. Like playing the game is the most important thing.
100%.
So it goes beyond starting things. Starting things is easy to start, man. Yeah. It's easy to start. But you find that the people who last are people who play the longest.
100%.
So I'm looking at all these areas of my life and I'm just like, Amara, we're going back into the game, we're going hard. I mean, it's not like I ever stopped playing the game.
Yeah.
But the beauty of that process was the ability to see and catch myself. And it's part of something I told Daniel, guys, off the podcast, that one of my biggest lessons from the first half of the year was never to drop the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I saw how a little sleep here,
oh God,
a little slumber here. No. I think, I don't know if the word is metaphors, but this is not, I'm not actually sleeping and slumbering.
Yeah.
But I mean, just a little letting things slide here, and a little on the other side, just being lackadaisical about something, and before you know it, 2 weeks down the line, you have dropped the ball.
God.
You have dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, starting off, just at the introduction of this podcast, I just was going through my emotions and just like, yeah. But I'm in a good place.
Love to hear it. I'm good, man. I'm good. Similar lessons, right? Similar lessons in the sense that you'd remember that there were goals that I had set, so to speak. About how, like, there were the goals I had for essentially ending by June, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a number of things. I didn't quite get it.
Okay.
But what was beautiful is that I'm closer to it than I've ever been in my life.
Okay. I would love to hear what that's like.
Like, I'm closer to it than I've ever been in my life. And guys, Amara probably has a sneak peek. The goals were outlandish.
Yeah.
Like, they were like from where to where? This one is not 0 to 100, 0 to 1,000.
Yeah.
But like, right now, I'm closer to it than I've ever been. And it's like, okay, I can see this thing, man.
Yeah.
I can smell it. I can taste it, bro. It's like the path just with thinking, with meditation, with studying, reading, and all of that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
It just, what's the word? Like, the path just became obvious, and like I just started going at it. And like, I'm a lot closer to it. Obviously, like, there's the fact that, okay, I have a tremendous confidence in God and then the ability He has given me. So I wasn't worried about how these goals were going to happen, right? But going through the weeks of the year, and I was like, I can actually see this thing.
What would you say was the driving force?
I wanted it, bro. Remember the energy we used to enter that, bro? Do you remember the energy we used to enter that, bro?
When you just said you wanted it, I was like, bro. I remember when I asked Daniel, how badly do you want it?
Bro, guy, I wanted it so bad. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
So during the week, Amara knows this, I kind of got sick. This is going to lead to another point that I've learned, right? I kind of got sick, and because I was thinking of the goals, I was like, I need to get active. Like, I can't let this thing, bro, I walked from my house to a bookstore in Bariga. That's 7,000, 8,000 steps, so just saying, casual. I walked from my house to Bariga to buy 200 naira marker, so that I can go and write my goals at the board that's in front of my desk. I put the goals there, so like I see them.
So that the signal to know we don't have time.
We don't have time for this. What's that? I just wrote it and I was like, Like, my body was in me. I was like, this is actually what we're going for.
Oh my God!
And I think it's such a fantastic place to be when you have stoked desire to the point where it consumes you. This used to be an issue for me. I would not really say I was a passionate person.
Yes,
right?
I've heard this from you.
I'm efficient, not passionate.
Yes, right. Almost a year ago.
Yeah. So I don't really get into wanting things, right? But it was interesting to see, like, I could want it that much. That's why, like, there is a book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. Bro, you can actually want a thing that much, right?
Bro.
And then to piggy off what Amara said about not dropping the ball.
Yeah.
I was reminded in so many ways, right, about the episode we did where we said, how do you do hard things? We said you start and not stop. You just keep going. The way you to do hard things is to keep going. Bro, I saw, like, Jesus, I saw the parts that I fumbled because I didn't show up. Yes. I now realize that, bro, if you can just keep showing up, don't think about...
You will look back and it will be a marvel.
It will be a marvel, like, how did I get here?
Bro.
You'll be like, how did I get here? Like, so far, you are a smart person. Now, you listen to 0 to X, you are smart.
Yeah.
Like, if someone shared this podcast and you're listening to it, you are smart. You know what's good for your life, right?
Yeah. No.
100%.
Being frank, man.
Being frank. So it's like, for you to write goals, figure out the action plans for these goals.
Yeah.
And then start executing on it on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
You know that, okay, anything you're supposed to do in that day is what you're supposed to be doing, and it's going to move you that much closer to your goals, right?
Yeah.
So why would you just not show up?
Yeah.
You could have been tired.
Yeah.
You could have been sick.
Yes.
This sickness was, when I said, I was remembering Brian Tracy's no excuses, no excuses, no excuses.
My
no
God.
Excuses, and when I was showing up, I read the book by Brian Tracy. I can't remember which one it was in this past quarter. And he was saying something about like two negative things or thought patterns. I don't know how you refer to them.
Yeah.
That can honestly stop your progress: rationalization and excuses. Those two things. Rationalization is making yourself feel good about why you cannot do this.
Yes.
Like every reason in the world you would give yourself. Bro, like, he dragged my shirt. He dragged my bloody shirt. He dragged my bloody shirt. I was like,
oh Lord.
You would, and because you are smart, again, your mind will cook up the most fantastic excuses.
It will.
Your mind is very creative. The most fantastic excuses.
And God help you, you're not even a naturally optimistic person.
Do you understand?
Your mind will do wonders. Wonders, bro.
So even coming here today for this show, like this is like the second time I've been sick and came for a show.
Yes,
right?
so guys, shout out to Daniel, man. Coming correct.
I remembered when, and you know what I was thinking of when I was coming. I was like, we'd have a big basketball head, Kobe and MJ. MJ played a game with like 100-degree flu. It was food poisoning, and they just said it was flu. I think I've told the story before.
And I think you said it was Kobe though.
Yeah, no, both of them.
Are you serious?
MJ did it, Kobe did it.
Are you serious?
So I was like, the two of the four biggest basketball players I look up to,
I've done it,
would play a game.
Why am I still chilling?
Who am I?
Come on, let's go an episode.
Who am I? Like, I almost went, I said, if I go and watch this now, I'll be angry and throw my iPad. Let me just be cool. And I was like, maybe I should go back to the clip. You could see the way he was doing, and he showed up correct. He wasn't asking for excuses or to be baby that, I'm sick, don't touch me. Like, it's just, no. He showed up.
Bro.
So I think my biggest lesson from, one thing I'm grateful for last year was that I've come closer than I've ever been.
Yeah.
To the goals that I wanted to achieve.
I'm happy you are there, man.
Close, like, bro, like, I've never been this close. And then secondly, your own is like dropping the ball.
Yes.
Mine is showing up. Like, you show up.
They're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they're two sides of the same coin, absolutely.
Yeah.
You show up, you do what you have to do for today, you go and sleep, rest.
Come back again.
Rest
is part of the strategy, man.
Do you understand?
Bro.
Do you understand? You come back again tomorrow.
Yeah.
You show up.
Yes.
Give it your best.
Yeah.
You rest.
Yeah.
Come back again.
Yeah.
Like, never let yourself, don't ever give yourself the excuse or the room. Like, honestly, there's a really brilliant advice in what's the name of this book? How to Influence and Influence People. I think it's law number 2. It says, don't criticize, don't complain, don't explain. Something like that. Exactly. So it's like, in this case, no excuses, no rationalization.
Yeah.
Like, if you choose to live that life, your own is, this needs to be done. You need to be bottom line in thinking about this. Your own is, this needs to be done. Do. And
That's
the
all.
do is that you are alive.
Yes.
You are in good enough health.
Yes.
Even if you're not in good enough, I'm not saying there's balance to this. I'm not saying don't rest.
Yes. What?
Right? But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. You by yourself can determine the sicknesses that you can push past.
Bro.
And the ones that are forcing you to be bedroom.
I was telling Amara that, okay, this thing gets really bad in the night. He was worried about me because I was home alone in my apartment. And I was like, the time, you know how they say that before you to take drugs, you need to like have food first.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in my bed by 5, 6, 7, unable to walk. And I'm like, it's going to be 7 a.m. soon. I can't even look at screens. My eyes hurt. I was like, I think of where I need to. No, Child Deck or Glovo don't open by 7 a.m.
Yeah.
How am I going to get food?
Yeah.
I'm looking at how I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can this body walk? Like legitimately. Can this body work? 7 a.m. will come. I will gently stand up. One foot, then one foot, then one foot, then one foot, then one foot. Before you know, I'm at the bakery. I've bought the bread. Come out. I put one foot, then another foot, then another foot. I've bought the rest of the things I need for breakfast. I've come back to my house. And even the eating, I'm not rushing. I take the bread, eat, take whatever else I'm having.
What happens is that you are doing.
Like, when that happened to me, I was like, I'm not happy I'm sick.
Yes.
But learning
the lessons stick with you.
Learning this lesson, I guess, a thing that you have said you are going to do. Don't give yourself
Don't give yourself a reason. I'm happy you are learning these lessons.
Like,
I'm happy you are learning these lessons.
Like, this is a thing to do.
Bro.
Right?
Bro.
See, I want you to hate excuses. Hate rationalization.
Daniel is on my wavelength this afternoon.
Like it should do your body when you hear the moment you just hear someone saying, but oh my god. My god. My god.
Where is but inside this conversation?
My god.
Oh
like,
my
you
god.
Just like what, why and how. There's a story I'll share. There was something I was supposed to do for PT. I hadn't done it. PT asked me about it. I said I couldn't look at screens for that period because of my eyes wanting.
Yeah.
PT gave it to me. I was like, what's that one? This was pre-reading the entire thing about rationalization and excuses, right? And like that entire episode passed, I made up, did what I was supposed to do, blah, 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 blah. But now I can see, and funny thing is that I have been in that position as a leader to someone else. So someone that owed me a deliverable. Yeah. And I'm like, you can now press computer small, and you don't need to do it. The thing is that we want to do it fast. Be okay with putting one foot in front of the other. The way to do hard things is not stop moving.
Bro.
One foot in front of the other. It's not about how much you do on the first day. It's about you show up on the first day, you show up on the second day, you show up on the third day. All of you that will buy courses and not do it.
Bro.
30 minutes one day. 30 minutes
Ask Daniel. Daniel knows I bought a course around when February, March. Yeah. I'm not done. And I've been taking it every week.
Bro, every week.
But every week.
That's your showing up. That's your definition of showing up. It's the wildest thing. Like my biggest lesson is show up every day. I know when I was thinking about the topic for this episode, I was like, we don't want to talk the show up thing, I was thinking of like we don't want to talk the show up, but honestly, the way to do the extraordinary is doing the ordinary things every day.
Every day. And then it becomes extraordinary.
That's really
There's a quote by Homozy. He literally says, extraordinary accomplishments come from doing ordinary things for extraordinary periods of time.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it.
Bro.
And the thing is that like if you are setting worthy, meaningful goals, time is a factor. You have to play the long game. Yes. It has to be contributing to a story. Bro. So guys, learnings from
that's such a beautiful lesson to take away from H1.
Yeah,
man.
like show up. And I'm not bothered. I'm like I want to move fast, right? But in the moments where it seems I can't move at my normal speed, it will take me twice as long. 3 times as long. I will do that 3 times as long.
Okay.
But that's showing up.
Yeah.
You show up.
Yeah.
And I want to piggy off something really, really important that you said. And I discovered that this was one of the things that I realized I hadn't taken as seriously. The thing you said about review.
Bro. I will still talk a lot more about it. You can share. You can go ahead.
No. Like, I want you to talk. Okay, my point about it was you set a goal and you're just doing.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you slack off and you slack off for long, it's because you're not reviewing.
Yeah. Yes.
If you slack off,
the ability to realize that you
drop the
ball or haven't dropped the ball comes from your place of review.
Yeah.
If you don't review, then you can't even recognize, like you said,
100%,
that you are slacking off.
You can't even correct it. That's the point. Like if you just let something go, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is going to disturb
Let
it.
me give a practical example. Yeah. Let me use workouts.
Yeah.
So realistically, I think I do around. Let me try to guess what the total number is, because I don't count. It's 3 sets of 3 different kinds of push-ups. So one set has, okay, let me just try to guess what the total number is. 30 by 9 is what?
270.
So give or take, I'm doing 300 push-ups per push-up per chest day. Do you get me? And there's in the past, before taking away that lesson from H1, in the past, there will be one day or another where I am not feeling it at all. When I say I'm not feeling, like I went into the workout with very low energy levels. And the workout is not supplying the dopamine. It's not coming. I am just bulldozing through the workout.
Yeah.
But then on the second set, I just can't see I can't see myself going through the third set.
Yeah.
But I look back at that moment a month after, and then I realized, Amara, you actually lied to yourself, man. Yes, were you tired? Yes. But there's this thing I've said on one of the episodes, that if there was a fitness instructor right beside you, you are getting that third set done.
You're doing it, no matter what it is.
So exactly. So a lot of the time, you realize that the reason why you cut yourself slack is because you are the one that is judge, jury, and executioner over your life.
In that context.
If somebody else was doing it for you and holding you accountable, I'm sure you would see the final set through.
Yeah.
So reviewing then helped me realize that I had done that thing over a number of times that I was slowly, gradually dropping the ball. So I didn't realize I was dropping the ball. I just look at my progress, because I track everything, guys.
Yeah.
I was looking at this my push-up progress report, and I was like, bro, you've been stuck at 270. Like, I'm not finishing the third set, so I'm doing, give or take, like 250-ish, 250, 220. I'm like, bro, you've been stuck at 250, 220. Like, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, what are you doing, man? And then, like, this went on for like, let's say 3-4 weeks. And I was like, nah, man, you can't keep doing that. You're not growing. You're just renewing the pump. Like, that's all it is. And so, with that, this leads me to my second lesson. As much as I will talk about review, my second lesson for H2 was, you've hacked consistency. Now it's time to hack intensity.
Yeah. And
so that means I needed to become the kind of person who refused to settle for anything that didn't allow me to surpass my limits.
Yeah.
So for every day I choose to want to do something. And you see, the thing with these lessons is the complete picture doesn't really hit you on the first day.
Yeah.
So here's what I mean. I understand how this lesson fits well into workout, but I haven't figured it out for every other part of my life. I'm still doing that slowly and gradually.
Yeah.
But I am clear as to the importance of surpassing my limits every day. I don't accept. Guys, we don't realize how much we create self-limiting beliefs for ourselves. By ourselves, for ourselves.
That's an interesting lesson.
So when I started going to do my H1 review,
I
started seeing all the places that needed improvement. Guys, reviewing is beautiful. Because when you're doing great, it's fantastic. Yeah, high five, bro. Keep it up. Like, you're outstanding. You're above. I mean, the way Tony Robbins said it. He said outstanding is just 2 millimeters above everybody else. And you're literally outstanding.
Oh my God.
Oh no, but point being, like, you are actually exceeding everybody else's output. Yeah. And you keep that up, bro. We can't even begin to fathom where you would be months, years from then. But I look at all of that, and while I'm congratulating myself and patting myself on the back for all the consistency and all of that, I am now at the point where I'm like, okay, bro, you've done well with consistency, 6 months. Yeah. Let's take it up a notch.
Let's put it in intensity.
So
I totally hear that.
For me, when I think about review,
I think it starts from tracking.
Yes. No. Tracking is the first place. You have to start tracking first. Yeah. Reason being because you need to know what your current situation looks like.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of us will try to guess what that current situation looks like.
Yeah.
And if you do, you are probably going to miss it by a mile. You're probably going to. So, like a practical example that James Blake gives, and I always give, is you think you drink so much water in a day. Start by tracking it. Find out how, and then you see that, oh, maybe I actually drink 3 liters a day, as opposed to thinking I used to drink about maybe 5. Do you get? So that kind of thing. When you do that for all the areas of your life, okay, how many hours do I really spend working on my goals? I claim that I do 5 to 7, but within that 5 to 7, did I really spend 5 to 7? Do you get me? So you track for a week, 2 weeks, and you have a solid understanding and a good place to start from. And now that you've established where you are, then you can now say, okay, based off of the goals, I've drawn a plan. That thing we talked about on the last episode.
Yeah.
Fleshing it out for what the 6 month, 3 month, 1 month targets, and daily, weekly, and down to the 24-hour targets. And then when you do all of that, you cannot begin to review. The problem, though, which I must point out, is you must be able to distinguish between what needs to be very detailed in the review process and what can be
summarized.
More summarized, exactly, more summarized, because there is a tendency to spend too much time
100%
reviewing.
I can see that happening.
Yes, so you must be able to say, okay, yes, do I really need to measure this? So that you don't spend your time doing things that don't give you any net return on the investment of time.
Yes, like so far that thing is priority to you.
Yes.
Right? Like absolutely track.
Yeah. So it's in doing that then you go through a week, and bro, like I literally grade myself, man. Like, for example, I will go back to work out again because I'm not sure I want to start going into all the other areas of my life for sake of time. But for workout, for example, if I do, let's say I was aiming to do 4 workout days a week over the course of a quarter. Yeah. And if a quarter is give or take 12 weeks, 4 workout days a week will be 48 workout days. Yeah. So I will now grade myself. My own pass mark for A is not 70, guys. It's not Unilag. My own pass, I can't remember, but I think my pass mark is either 85 or 90. Something ridiculous. I gave myself that grade. This is not A. I'm not interested. You get it? So I set the bar very high for myself so that I don't give myself any reason to tolerate. Yeah. So then I track, and then I say, okay, yes. So when they actually ask you how was your year, and you say yes, the year was great, you can actually specifically say, these are the things I'm thankful for, and it helps with gratitude as well.
100%.
It helps with gratitude.
I can really see that.
Yeah.
And we can probably end with this, right? The last lesson from H1 that I think I would like to share was I became very interested in challenging myself to prove to myself I was the person that I was. So it became more of a play thing. So it became more of a game. I found a way to gamify it. So it's like every time I want to sleep in, I'll talk to myself like as my opponent, and then because I love basketball, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. Okay. So like you are not going to just let somebody rubbish you, that kind of thing. So I was able to gamify that, and it's like every time I feel like I want to, and then these are learnings going into H2, right? Because I was doing a lot of reading, a lot of researching about optimizing my performance and output. And I found out that one thing that's helped me, and then I found out that it's important to help people break addictions. Okay. Gamifying the process of choosing who you're going to be. So it's like, let's say you are faced with a temptation of something like you typically would indulge in. So it's like, the moment you get to the point where you're about to make a decision to do that thing, you slow down and ask yourself, is it the kind of person I am? No, Joe.
Exactly.
Bro, that switch.
Yeah, I see that.
That switch, you see that, right? I love that you see that. That switch, I thought that thing is done. Then what do? Show up again. The next time you feel
yes.
No, Joe, this is not who I am. You wake up, you said your this thing is 11 to, you sleep 11 to 5 or 12 to 6. 6 o'clock, you hear your alarm.
And you want to sleep. Ask yourself the
no, Joe. Is this like as in, bro? Like use your ego. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Max, like leverage your ego.
I call it. It's what I call self-respect.
No, thank you.
It's what I call self-respect.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, there's a respect you have for yourself
Like,
when you represent that thing that you stand for every day.
Like, and again, you have to be very, very present and in the moment.
Yes, you have to
because you find out that when you drop the ball, your mind is automatic.
Yes,
it's always on order.
Yes.
So you need you anytime you make bad decisions,
your mind was running on
your mind on order.
Yes.
Right. So you need to be conscious and present in the moment to say, is this who I want to? Exactly. Well, especially when you ask that in a near mocking tone. Your ego, yourself, you don't even need to help.
I see that mocking tone.
You don't even need to help. You don't need to help it. You will just find out that like the way you'll be irritated and you thought you did not have energy to stand up, you stand up and go to that computer and start working. Because like, and it's, I don't know, I've been seeing that there is interesting neurochemistry and neurosciences around these things, around the chemicals and like how certain things flood our minds and make us behave in certain ways, right?
Yeah.
But the takeaway for me is that I find more fun, and I've been trying for like the past 3-4 days, bro. It just have been mind blowing. Like I always break everything down for me into a decision. Like I don't even have the moment I just feel like I want to make the less than I do, like the irritation in my body is almost automatic now. And I just leverage that emotion, that sentimentality, the chemicals in my body. Yeah. And I just go and I find out that it actually gives me energy to go do the thing I'm supposed to do or not do the thing I don't want to do.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So I think that's a lesson that's worth sharing. I hope this helps somebody out there. So guys, as always.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. I just want to add one final point though. Yeah. That the moment you decide that you want to start reviewing in your life, fix it and make it sacrosanct.
That's the word.
That, bro. Don't let it shake for anything. It's a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable.
Slot it into your week and just have it fixed.
Yep.
Yeah, and you will find that, I say this all the time, that it's the review process that lets you see the lapses. So if you skip the review, you've skipped the opportunity to see the lapses. So that's pretty much what it is. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you guys listening. And I hope you guys are doing and showing up. We hope you are doing. We know you're going to pick yourself. We hope you're doing.
A friend of mine was telling me that he was listening to that he's the kind of person who likes to listen to a podcast and follow the journey, the progression. And if you follow our progression, I'm convinced you'll be inspired to do. I'm convinced you'll be inspired to do. Thank you guys so much for making this part of your day.
We know you're doing. Pick yourself up.
Pick yourself up.
If you are not doing, pick yourself up. There's no shame here. Like there is greater joy and respect in messing up, cleaning it up, and coming correct.
Yes.
That's an incredibly strong thing to do.
Getting out of your ruts, man.
That's an incredibly strong thing to do. So if that is you in any way, form, or shape, like we give you grace, like you can make it work. You can make it work, guys. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for making this a part of your day, and we'll be seeing you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.